In case you thought Disney Star Wars shills on Twitter and YouTube were bad, now Forbes is seeking to destroy the reputation of Star Wars fans in favor of defending the Acolyte. Hi y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. A couple of days ago, I saw a fascinating article written by somebody on Forbes about how the Acolyte's failure is actually an embarrassment not to Disney or Lucasfilm or Star Wars legacy, but it's actually embarrassing for the people who are reviewing it. Yes, Star Wars fans are embarrassing because we don't like the Acolyte. And that is such a fascinating way of justifying trash that I thought, let's take a deep dive into this article. Now, the article begins by citing the very important fact that the Acolyte is now the worst reviewed piece of Star Wars content ever. That honor used to belong to the Star Wars Holiday Special, which rests at a rating of about 22% by fans. However, the Acolyte in just 4 episodes has dropped from a meager 20-something% to now 14%. And let's unpack that for a minute. The Star Wars Holiday Special, which I'm pretty sure half the cast was on cocaine, it's terribly written, and it was absolutely a sellout piece of content, is better reviewed than The Acolyte. Which should go to show you that The Acolyte is not only a canon-destroying piece of shit.
I carried them. I created them.
But it's also poorly written, poorly acted, it doesn't look great. It's genuinely a disappointment to Star Wars fans. However, the writer of this article thinks that that is our fault. The article says, at a certain point, this is just absurd, and it says a lot more about the viewers than it does about the quality of the show itself. See, once again, we're being blamed for the failures of a multi-billion-dollar company. It's not that what they produced was garbage and we have freedom of speech and freedom of expression and we are claiming that this is garbage and showing our dissatisfaction to this multi-billion-dollar company who we pay to produce this stuff. No. It's embarrassing for us. We're the problem. But why? This brilliantly written, borderline victim-blaming article then goes on, no, I am not going to entertain a debate that this is not review bombing. A 15% score is barely more than a third of the last most controversial Disney Star Wars project, The Last Jedi. See, the great thing about The Last Jedi, though, is that even though it was a tremendous piece of shit and so many of us that actually had taste really hated it, The Last Jedi still came at a time where people were willing to accept garbage from Star Wars because we hadn't been wronged as many times, and also nobody in The Last Jedi actively said that R2-D2 was a lesbian.
This is more outward.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
And they wanted to shame people for liking Star Wars.
Because nerds are gay.
Well, some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by.
No, The Last Jedi was still a Star Wars movie put out for Star Wars fans. This essentially is an agenda-driven piece of garbage that is also coming on the heels of other Star Wars disasters like Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Should I go on? Showrunner Leslie Headland has starred in many YouTube thumbnails lambasting the woke nature of the series, but also allegedly breaking canon. Yes, worker elf assistant to Harvey Weinstein Leslie Headland is the face of all these thumbnails complaining about the series because she's the entire reason the show is happening. And yes, the show did break canon, and that is a reason why everybody is upset, because the whole point of what made Anakin so special is that Anakin was the chosen one. Anakin was the child of a divine conception.
There was no father. I carried him, I gave birth, I raised him. I can't explain what happened.
It's what made him important. How the is Star Wars canon upheld and cherished when we figure out that a lesbian couple and a cult of space witches figured out how to do it themselves and not only made one baby, they made twins. What the does any of it matter now? But wait, there's more. But the worst Star Wars project by an order of magnitude in the history of the series, and it just so happens to be one mostly starring black women? This whole situation is a parody of the modern toxic fan base of the series. You know what? I am so sick and tired of this bullshit. The Acolyte is terrible. Without any of the people crying woke, The Acolyte is an unforgivably bad show. Yes, it breaks canon, but it's also poorly written, the plot is grasping at straws, the dialogue is ass, the performances are absolutely lacking. Everything about the show lacks gravitas and any feeling of real Star Wars DNA that we love about the original trilogy, even the prequels, and some other projects that have been released. This is garbage. You could take the Star Wars label off of it and I would still think it was shit. I just probably wouldn't be as mad about it. I could go on, but it is so much easier for the defenders of this less than mediocre bullshit to say, you know what, you don't like it because you don't like women, and not only do you not like women, but you don't like black women. Because it's easier to call the people who disagree with you bigots, homophobes, misogynists, and all other kinds of ists, because basically it silences their argument, right? You insult somebody like that and claim that they're basically wearing white hoods under all their clothes, and you've basically managed to silence them and silence any real issues they might have. None of us that are talking shit about The Acolyte right now are doing it because we hate women. Need I remind you, I saw a tweet this morning that I thought was brilliant. The Mandalorian Season 2 was led by not one, not two, not three, but 4 strong women, and fans loved it. They still haven't stopped praising the episode 4 years later at the height of the series. Let's talk about that for a woman. We have Bo-Katan, who is beloved from her time in the animated shows, Cara Dune, who was retconned completely as a result of Gina Carano not being acceptable for Disney standards anymore by making tweets on her own personal Twitter account. We have famed assassin Fennec Shand, who is played by Ming-Na Wen, an actress of Chinese descent. And then to round out the group, we have Oscar Reeves, who was played by none other than Mercedes Bernardo, who is actually mixed, technically, because her mother is of German descent, but her father, according to Wikipedia, was African American. So what's all that about us hating women and diversity? No. The reason why we hate The Acolyte is not because it stars mostly black women, it's because the show is garbage, and we're not gonna sit here and be told, oh, you guys are a bunch of angry white guys. Me and angry white guys don't have a lot in common. So if you want to attack Star Wars, and you want to attack Star Wars fans by calling them ists, phobes, bigots, whatever, how about we take a look at some other voices who are part of that modern audience that you so desperately seek to please, and take a step back and listen to the fact that women, young women, Hispanic women, actually hate this shit because it's badly written. And I don't like the show, not because I can't take these strong, powerful black women, not because I can't take the strong, powerful lesbian witchcraft, or because I hate diversity. I hate the show because it's absolute garbage. And that, my friends, is a fact. And that's all for me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, tune in on Twitch every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST. You can also check out my Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and content. I will add links to all of those in the description below. And let me know your thoughts on Star Wars fans being embarrassing in the comments below.